Hello ladies and gentlemen, Exentor here and welcome back to another YouTube video. Now today's YouTube video I'm going to be showing you guys some of the best scenic locations in Infinite Flight Mobile Flight Simulator. So of course here, right now we're just going to get right into this video, and also if you're new here, please feel free to like and subscribe. It also means a lot to me, all the support that everyone is showing. So right now, I'm located in Dubai, so this is the first of the 5 scenic locations I'm going to show you today. Now Dubai has quite a few cool features which you can see from high altitudes, so I don't recommend Dubai at low altitudes. It's quite a good, nice place to fly over, I believe, personally, because of course you've got the World Islands over here, which you can see, and I'm not quite sure what project that is over there, someone might know. And then you've got two Palm Jumeirah, or the Palm Islands here, so you've got the smaller one over there, which is the original of course, and then the bigger one over here. Now, you can also see, so you got a bit of the, I believe that's the new Dubai Marina, or they're building a new, Dubai harbour somewhere. But then also just a little bit further down, you've got Abu Dhabi, which is, I believe, this section over here, which you can just about see. And to me, I think Abu Dhabi looks really pretty. So, of course, it's just a coastal area down by the United Arab Emirates. Personally, it just looks really good. So, you can also see, again, on the other side of the water, you can see all the other nations, which is just over there. And there aren't too many cargo ships, which sometimes I find can spoil the view in Infinite Flight, because they are tend to just be, you know, like weird watery blurs, which can be quite sad, unfortunately. But like I said, Dubai has an amazing scenery here in Infinite Flight, as you can see. So we got the Persian Gulf, which is on the other side. Sorry, just gonna spin. So here we go. So we got the lovely Persian Gulf. You can see Iran on the other side of the over there. And then up there, over there, I believe. So this bit of land here that you can see here is actually Oman. So there is a wide range of nations which you can see in this beautiful area, and I do think it looks really pretty. And then that big bulge over there coming out is Qatar. So in quite a small region, you've got a really lovely coast you can fly along, and you can see some really fabulous bits of scenery. Like I said, you've got the iconic Palm Islands, the World Islands, and much more. So now we're going to move on to our second location in my list of 5 best scenic locations in Infinite Flight. Okay, so coming in at number 4, we have the amazing Cascades mountain range. Now this mountain range is located in North America. I believe it's in the Alaska state of the United States. I might be wrong there. But you can see even just here, the amount of glaciers which are present in these mountains in Infinite Flight is amazing. And then that lovely blue colour of water which you can see. Now of course you do get the amazing mountains. And the best part of it is just right there on the coast. So you've got the coast of the Pacific Ocean just on one side of you, and just these amazing views here. So just look at all of these little rivers all joining up at the estuaries. It looks amazing. It really does look amazing. So from here you're going to fly out of PAJM, which is the name of the airport. I don't actually know how to pronounce the airport. I think it's Juneau. I definitely said that wrong. Sorry. But yeah, so what you see down here, like the view doesn't look as good when you do zoom in, and we're about 50,000 feet here, so we are a little bit higher than you'd be flying commercially, obviously, in your aircraft. But the views are very similar. I just came a bit higher to give you guys a much wider view of this amazing looking place, so you can just see around just how good it looks. So the airport that you actually come from is over there somewhere, I believe. So obviously not right in the mountains. But if you do fancy getting the next couple of something and doing some mountain flights, this is definitely a lovely, pretty place to do it. And you can get some really cool scenic shots. Now I also think from just a long haul flight, you can depart from San Francisco, Los Angeles, and all of the West Coast airports. And you can just fly north and do long flight to like Singapore, Malaysia, and China. So those flights of course would lead you all the way up here if you were to plot your flight plan to go near the North Pole. Even flights to Anchorage in Alaska would be great, and you can fly along here and get some amazing shots for just general for whatever you want them for. So yeah, this is the second place, and now we're going to move on to the third place on this top 5 list. Now, it wouldn't be a top 5 scenic location list in infant flight without the Caribbean. And I think this is probably one of the better locations in the Caribbean in infant flight. You've got the many colours of water, so you've got the lovely turquoise, the deep blue, you've got sandy islands, many islands, big islands, small islands at this area of the Caribbean, and I just think it is amazing. So there's airports on pretty much each one of these islands, so I took off from the airport over there to get this shot, but I'm going to give you the name of the closest airport to where I am right now, which is MYCA, which is its ITA code, so you just put that in the map and you can find this place. But look how beautiful it is. So you've got like a little crater a little bit further on, or it looks like a crater, it clearly isn't. It just looks amazing. So you've got loads of islands near you, and yeah, it's honestly, the Caribbean in infant flight has just this lovely colour of blue. And it's a lovely place to fly over, so you can even land here, even closer to the ground. The scenery looks quite good in this region of infinite flight. So you can of course do many flights going in and out of Mexico and the Central American countries, across to Africa and Europe, which will send you across these beautiful, amazing bits of infinite flight. So if you're into long hauls, or even island hopping in the smaller aircraft like the Cessna Caravan, which unfortunately isn't that good in infinite flight, but there is the normal Cessna 175, which is more than adequate for routes like these, and the TBM, of course. The TBM is lovely in these airports in this region. TBM 930 between the islands, cruising like 20,000 feet. It's probably unrealistic, but yeah, it honestly does look amazing. So I definitely recommend here. It deserves a spot on the list, I think. And the Caribbean was always going to be on a top 5 scenic list for infinite flight. Let me know whether this is your favourite bit in the Caribbean, because lots of people have different preferences. I know St Martin, where the KLM 747 used to fly to, is quite a popular destination. I've done that flight once or twice before, and it is a very lovely flight. So now we're going to move on to number 4 on the list, and yeah. Now, number 4 on this list might be a bit unexpected from you, but I've actually opted for a city. Now, this is one of the largest city-states, so we're just going to wait for infant flight to load in, because it's gone a little bit blurred here. It's definitely not normally this blurred. But yeah, so Singapore, this is where we are. In case you couldn't tell, you got all the boats coming in and out, and now here the boats look quite good, because they're not just swashy sways. Normally infant flight is a little bit more clear than this. I'm not too sure what my iPad's playing up to right now, but hopefully it will clear up. But yeah, so here you've just got all of the amazing local islands. So it reminds me a bit of Hong Kong here. So here you've got all of these little islands, and the approaching to Hong Kong again is amazing, but it hasn't made this list, unfortunately, because I decided to opt for Singapore, as I am normally very biased towards Hong Kong, unfortunately. So yeah, you can just see all of the amazing. So the actual country only has a population of 5.6 million people. Only a square kilometre coverage of 728.6 square kilometres, which is not much. And of course you can do lovely little flights from Singapore all the way to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, which might even be that there. I know it's a very, very short flight and does not take very long at all. So Singapore, of course, here being the little thing there, if I can just crop it in. There we go. So that is Singapore for you there. And it obviously borders, I think it's called Johor, or Skudai, which is the stuff over here. So Singapore, I believe, is just this little island which we can see here. And to think that 5.6 million people live in this tiny area is quite crazy. And then you've got the little area over here, which is called Batam. This is all according to Google Maps. So yeah, the airport is massive as well in comparison to lots of the area of Singapore here, and of course you've got the giant harbour. So Singapore, of course, makes a well-deserved place on this list. I believe it's gone all blurry for some weird reason now. We'll just zoom in again, and I think it definitely deserves a spot on this list. So if you do love flying over countries, again, doing long haul flights going from China down to Australia, you can always cross over Singapore and add it into your route if you fancy a stop and a little bit of tourism or en route. So now moving on to the last and final place on this top 5 list. Now, coming in 5th place on this list, so last place that I'd like to mention, which I think looks really, really cool in infinite flight, is very northern areas of Chile, I believe, which is where I am. So we're a little bit south of Peru, which is where the Andes Mountains are, which again is another area in infinite flight which looks amazing. Now, I think this might still be part of the Andes Mountains. I'm not too sure, I might be wrong, but I feel like sandy areas are really like overlooked in infinite flight, because when you just look at the sheer amount of colour which is actually present and all of these amazing cool mountains, I personally think it's a lovely place to fly over. So if you're heading down to Santiago, the capital of Chile, of course, from pretty much most countries anywhere north of Chile in the 2 American continents, you can pass over this area of northern Chile. Now, the closest airport to where I was from is SCKP, which will be somewhere within the video or even the description. And I think it is a lovely place. So even if you wanted to do, again, like I said, just some shots in a TBM or something and get some amazing photos, or even have some fun in the jet. So what I sometimes do, especially in the Grand Canyon in the United States, is I get in a jet and I just fly in the canyon for ages. And it is really good fun because it's quite challenging as well. So unfortunately over here it doesn't look quite as good, but the shot from here, it's phenomenal if you ask me. I think that's a really nice shot. Again, it maybe doesn't look as good as the Caribbean, but again, it's an amazing area of scenery, I think, in infinite flight, and it definitely deserves a spot on this list if you ask me, because I've tried to have a wide range of different types of scenery, because not everyone likes the same scenery, because of course we've got some mountains, we've got some more cities, some coastal areas, the Caribbean, and now some sandy desert areas. Unfortunately, there wasn't any more greeny rainforest areas because I find them a little bit too bland in infinite flight, like the Amazon rainforest. But that's unfortunately just, again, I need a 6th spot for that, and this is a top 5 video, of course. But if you did enjoy this YouTube video, please make sure you like and subscribe from down below. It means the world to me, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Good night.